What is Al Pacino's most underrated performance? We all love him delivering epic monologues in Any Given Sunday or Scent of a Woman. Personally, I love him best in The Devil's Advocate and Heat. But when scrolling through Netflix late at night, what option might you skip past that is one of the best Al Pacino films? Over more than 20 years, I've watched near all of Al Pacino's films, and I'm going to share with you now my all-time most underrated performance.
In all the 5 boroughs, I'm known. Forget about it. I'm known all over the fucking world. Anybody ask anybody about Lefty from Mulberry Street.
Many Mafia films draw inspiration from real-life Mafia stories. The characters in these stories are often based on actual wise guys who lived and immersed themselves in the Mafia lifestyle.
Can I ask you guys something?
What?
Are you guys, wise guys?
For instance, in Mike Newell's 1997 classic, Donnie Brasco, the deuteragonist Benjamin Lefty Ruggiero was a real-life Mafia hitman and enforcer for the Bonanno crime family in New York. Unlike the character portrayed in the film, he rose through the ranks of the Mafia through his successful exploits in bookmaking, extortion, and loan sharking.
You owe me $8,000.
No, hold on, wait. I gave you the diamond.
The diamonds are fugazi.
There are numerous intriguing comparisons between the real-life Lefty and the one depicted in the film. However, for this analysis, I'd like to focus on the character portrayed by Al Pacino in Donnie Brasco.
When I introduce you, I'm gonna say, this is a friend of mine. That means you're a connected guy. Now, if I said instead, this is a friend of ours, that would mean you were a made guy. Capiche?
Notably, Al Pacino had recently portrayed one of the most iconic Mafia characters of all time, Michael Corleone, in the Godfather series, which ran from 1972 to 1990. In between that, in 1983, he played Tony Montana in Brian De Palma's Scarface.
Say hello to my little friend!
Michael Corleone embodied a composed and calculated demeanor, effectively managing his crime family through measured and tactical strategies.
Senator, you can have my answer now if you like. My offer is this. Nothing.
Conversely, Tony Montana was characterized by a lack of composure, while still having ambition. He immigrated to the United States from Cuba with nothing to his name. In both Scarface and The Godfather, the protagonists achieve remarkable success in the Mafia world. However, in Donnie Brasco, Lefty Ruggiero remained unrecognized for his contributions. Despite being a respected member of the team,
Lefty's a dynamite guy, there's no doubt about it.
he never received a promotion or was considered a leader amongst his peers.
30 years I'm earning. Any work to be done, call Lefty. I never complained. 26 guys I clipped. Do I get upped? No, they pass me by.
In reality, Lefty is a low-level wise guy, often tasked with carrying out hits. Although he is considered trusted, he's also easily disposable. He consistently manages to escape with minimal financial resources and often resorts to borrowing from Donnie.
You got a couple of fuzzles. I got some things I gotta take.
Yeah. What do you want, 100?
The most notable example of this is the Christmas Eve scene, where he gives Donnie a card with cash.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. That's really nice.
Knowing that he will ask for it back at the end of the evening.
You think you can spot me a couple of this?
Yeah.
That's all. I'll get back to you. You see? Now you got it here.
This is not the portrayal of Tony Montana in his lavish bathroom smoking a cigar. Instead, it depicts a poor man struggling to make ends meet with limited prospects. He sits in his tiny apartment, in his lounge chair, watching television in his sweatpants, devoid of any glamour. In fact, one of the film's central themes is to showcase the other side of the Mafia life, the individuals who did not achieve success.
You think this is some joke, huh?
Lefty has a junkie for a son who he doesn't respect, and a wife who he dismisses at every turn.
Got all this in it?
Oh, no. I can't cook special like Benny.
Shut up, man.
Why do we consider Lefty a loser? If we examine Lefty's most significant move during the film, his attempt to arrange a sit-down with the boss in Florida. Wait, let's back up for a moment. Donnie is approached by the FBI and asked to vouch for another undercover operative operating out of Florida.
Well, we have an agent down in Miami. Goes by the name of Richie Gatso.
Miami.
Now, the Bureau would like you to go down there and see if you could interest some of your mob friends.
The objective is to revive an old bar with the assistance of the New York crew. Understandably, Donnie is displeased with this request, as vouching for someone entails risking his own life.
Now, if you vouch for Richie Gatso...
I ain't gonna vouch for nobody I don't know. Hey, look at I vouch for the guy could wind up dead.
Despite the fact that King's Court is an absolute shithole, Lefty recognizes the opportunity to finally establish something of his own.
30 years I'm busting my hump. What do I got? Even a dog gets a warm piece of the sidewalk.
He recognizes that he needs to meet with the local boss to secure the necessary approval.
A guy like me could sit down with the boss. You know what I'm saying?
However, he lacks the necessary connections to impress the local boss and advance within the organization.
You see, Don, if I work out the strategy like that, you gotta hold up your end now.
Consequently, he tasks Donnie with the responsibility of finding a boat to facilitate the sit-down.
Donnie, you get that boat yet?
Nah, I'm working on it.
Don, don't tell me no. You gotta get that boat.
Regrettably, despite his efforts, Lefty is once again overlooked, and Sonny Black receives all the credit. Lefty's reaction is reminiscent of a child's disappointment.
I'm so disgusted with you. You know that?
Yeah, you just said it.
Yeah. Just so you know.
Lefty's reaction gives us an insight into his ability to deal with disappointment. While it could be argued that his lack of ambition is a contributing factor, the film does present evidence of his ambition.
We got the contract.
He demonstrates loyalty, a characteristic strongly associated with Mafia life. For instance, his care for Sonny Red's family while he was incarcerated is a commendable act of loyalty.
You know, he looked after me when I was in the can. And that's something that I don't forget. Something that I will never, ever forget.
Lefty also adheres to the rules and regulations of the Mafia, even though he is aware that he'll never attain leadership. His problem lies in his inability to lead. He's a skilled worker and a decent earner, and it's his transparency that actually endears him to the audience. He's not manipulative or evil, he simply believes in the dream of rising to the top.
Keep your nose clean, be a good earner, follow the rules, and who knows, maybe one day when they open the books, you get straightened out.
While we are all aware it's an unrealistic aspiration. One of the best scenes in the film is Lefty's goodbye. We feel real sadness watching him follow the rules right to the very end, leaving his small bankroll in the drawer for his wife to find. Even right until the very end, Lefty follows the rules, even when they're not in his own interest. He just isn't strong enough to get out. If you watched this far, thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Please subscribe for more content. Thank you.